What is going on, movie meals? Back to back to back videos here. Remember, guys, look at this awesome merch. Go get it. It's linked in the description. Thank you to our patron, Steve Nitz, flashing on the screen for being a top tier guy. Please, guys, if you can support us in any way, go support the Patreon. Go get some merch. It's all in the link in the description below. It would really mean a lot to us going into 2020 as we're trying to make this a little bit more of a career.
Before we get into any further of the video, this video is actually sponsored, guys. Movie Meals has a sponsor. A good friend of ours has started a new website called Amateur Auteur. It is awesome. He does great essays about pretty much anything in the world of entertainment. Please go give him some love. He's got essays about Friends, The Ideal Heroes. His website is built so beautifully. Go check him out. His writing is exceptional, and we love everything about him. I've loved both his essays so far. He's got 2 up and currently working on even more to come. So Movie Meals, please go check out Amateur Auteur. You can follow them on Twitter as well. Everything will be linked down in the description. Go check it out.
But let's get into our top 10 most anticipated movies of the year. So I guess we'll just continue with what we got. Kyle, you got any honorable mentions? I got a couple, I guess, but there's a lot coming out. There's a lot got pushed.
A lot's gotten pushed. A lot's probably gonna keep getting pushed. I don't really have honorable mentions off on my list, really. I got some Ted Solid ones right here, though.
I just don't have my top 10. Fast 9 and The King's Man, 2 movies. I'm kind of curious where we're going in that in this franchise. Fast 9, like I thought it was Fast 10 when I actually looked. I was like, what? I did a double take and I was like, I swear we're on 10, but we're on 9. Curious about that. But Kyle, what is your number 10 then?
My number 10, my number 10 is Space Jam 2. I grew up...
Did not make my list, but I do love Bronny. You know I do.
Oh, yeah. Like, who doesn't, right? But for Space Jam 2, I was big with the first Space Jam movie. Like, it was always one of the movies I watched religiously. I loved Looney Tunes so much, and that movie is just so entertaining. Is it the best thing ever? No. It's just such a lightning in the bottle movie. But you know what? It's such a delightful lightning in the bottle movie. So will it be recreated for Space Jam 2? I don't know. I have no idea. But I'm anticipating it, and I hope that it's good. So there we go.
My number 10, a movie Kyle reminded me of before we started filming, The Last Night in Soho, Edgar Wright's movie. Love the cast, all about it. Anna Taylor-Joy, obviously she's on an all-time high right now of how much I just love her. Yeah. But curious what Edgar Wright's got to do. Needed an indie film on there somewhere because there's so many freaking blockbusters, and I miss spectacle so much. That's going to be the rest of this list. So,
yeah,
Kyle, what's your
no
number
kidding.
9?
My number 9 is going to be Raya and the Last Dragon. I am really enjoying what Disney Animation has to bring lately, and this they had a teaser trailer for it recently. It doesn't show too much, but for some reason, like the tone of this movie and the animation just looks so cool to me, and I'm excited to go in different types of places and different types of stories being told when it comes to Disney Animation. So I'm hoping for the best out of this one.
That should have been in my honorable mentions. Excited. Just didn't put it on the list. My number 9 is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the 10 Rings or whatever it is. I'm curious what Marvel's going to do, really diving deep into another culture. We've gotten that with Black Panther quite a bit, obviously, but I'm curious to see what they're going to do with more Asian culture and that history. Because I liked what we got out of Mulan, so I'm curious. Obviously, that's a retelling, but I'm curious what we're going to get with Shang-Chi. So I'm really looking forward to that. Any MCU, just let me have it now. Kyle, what's your number 8?
My number 8 is also a Marvel movie. It's Black Widow. I know we all know what happens to Black Widow after Endgame, but you know what? She gets her own standalone movie. All right, that's cool. I don't mind seeing it. Why not? It should be a good time. The trailers look good. I love Florence Pugh. I'm glad that she's in one of these movies. So yeah, sign me up. It should be a good time.
David Harbour and our girl Rachel Weisz too. That is
great cast.
Great cast.
Yeah.
My number 8 is the Suicide Squad. So the Suicide Squad. I'm just curious what James Gunn is going to do. I'm very nervous he's just going to make Guardians of the Galaxy again And I really don't want that because I don't think Guardians 2 is as good as Guardians 1. And so I don't really want him to make another Guardians movie over there.
Mhm.
But I'm very curious because I love him as a filmmaker. I love his writing. And he's got a really kooky cast of characters. So he could really do something. I mean, obviously, it's going to kind of have similar humor, which I'm okay with, but I just don't want it to be as campy and Tony as Guardians kind of got with the second one. But so I'm really interested in that. But Kyle, what's your number 7?
Number 7 for me is In the Heights. After seeing Hamilton, I'm really curious to see a music with some Spanish culture in it. I think that the movie looks really entertaining. It looks like it's a lot of fun. I'm curious to see what Manuel Miranda is going to do outside of Hamilton, and this is one of those projects now. So bring it on. I really hope that I get to see this year or this next year.
Yep. What is my next one? My next one's Mission Impossible, for the fact that it's Tom Cruise yelling at camera guys for not following COVID protocols. But I love that cast. And what is Tom Cruise going to do next? I've never not loved one of these movies. I want another trailer, even though Henry Cavill won't be in it, of him just, reloading his own fist. I love
that
the
movie's
franchise.
So good.
It's so good. So I'm curious what Mission Impossible is going to bring next. So
that's
Kyle,
an honorable mention for me too. That's an honorable mention for me too, probably. List, huh? I forgot to mention that. What are we at? 6?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Number 6 for me, it's Spiral. It's supposed to be a movie based off of the Saw franchise. I know Chris Rock is starring in this as a dramatic role. It looks interesting. It got pushed back a year, unfortunately. It was supposed to come out a lot sooner, but now that it's pushed back and now that I have more time to think about it, I am actually pretty curious. I want to see how Chris Rock does in a role like this. And, I'm not much of a horror fan or a fan of the Saw franchise, but it looks like it's more of a detective story than just a horror story. So I'm going to be really interested in that.
You, sir, that's a headline. It's a horror movie, sir. And you, sir, will be spooked. And you're not a spooker. So you're going to get spooked.
I will be spooked.
My number 6 is another spooker, but a little bit more technical, is A Quiet Place 2. I loved the first one. I want to see what John's going to bring for the second one. I am absolutely excited for it. I love the addition of Cillian Murphy. He is a powerhouse of an actor. So I'm very interested in what we're going to go with that world and that kind of creation that he came up with. So that's my number 6. What's your number 5? Kyle, top 5.
We were so close. It's A Quiet Place 2.
Oh, dang it.
I know, missed it by 1. I am happy that Krasinski's back in directing this movie. It is his baby, and I'm glad to see him, continue this story. But I think I mentioned this in last year's Anticipate video when this movie was supposed to come out in 2020. But I really liked how A Quiet Place just felt like its own thing, its own one-off thing, and I wasn't really needing a sequel. So I'm just anticipating and hoping that this movie does be really excellent, if not even better than the second one, just because, I really enjoyed what came out of the first one. I hope that it can do the same thing again, but maybe with some new tricks.
My number 5 is Godzilla versus King Kong, because I want to see monsters fight each other and blow people up. I want to see them murder millions of people. I want to see Godzilla fight a giant monkey. It's not Beauty killing the beast. It's a flaming dragon breathing monster. I'm pumped. They're going to team up. I love disaster movies. I like all the bad ones, and I love all the good ones. And I am ready for Godzilla versus Kong, baby. All right, Kyle, what's your number 4?
Oh, God. Okay. I'm good now. Number 4 for me is The Suicide Squad. I am curious too.
Nerd alert, jeez. I said the. Just kidding.
I'm curious to see how James Gunn is gonna do this movie. I kind of am with Alex too, that I don't want it to be, Guardians of the Galaxy 2.0. I know that DC probably wanted James Gunn so that way he can do that same thing again, but I really hope there is a new angle to it, or at least it feels different than Guardians. But I do like him as a director and a writer, and they were able to get some some of the old cast back, like Viola Davis and Margot Robbie, and also able to add some new characters that seem even more wild than what we had before. So I'm really hoping this does Suicide Squad a lot more justice than the last one did, because that one was poo.
My number four is Black Widow for Florence. That's it.
Fair enough.
She is. She is.
I mean, no, you can.
Powerhouse.
It's fine.
I am curious what they're gonna do, what their plan has been, because this movie was supposed to have come out long ago. But where's the MCU going? How does it connect? Do they accidentally retcon things? Do they not? But also for Florence and that amazing cast. Kyle, top 3 most anticipated movies of the year. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is Last Night in Soho, another movie that was on my anticipated list last year. Unfortunately, it all got pushed back, but I really liked that Edgar Wright is doing, by the sounds of this movie, just doing something different. I know Anya Taylor-Joy is also in this movie too, and I've been really liking what I've seen from her lately. So with these two, I just am really curious to see what they have in store for this movie. I'm really anticipating this one at number 3.
My number 3 is Spider-Man 3, The Multiverse, with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, because that's the
that's this year?
Yeah. He froze.
Hello?
Great time to freeze. Yeah, it comes out in 2021, summer of 2021. Did you not know that?
Oh, I forgot about that. I mean,
they've been filming for a while. It's pretty much done that they're that it's gonna be in the multiverse. It's pretty much set in stone that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire will be in it. And I'm just curious to see how they're gonna handle this, because I don't want them to go too crazy and just basically makes into the Spider-Verse, but I also really want to see where they're going to go with him as a character, because he has some of the people who don't love the Spider-Man movies are because he's so latched to the MCU compared to the other movies where it's so him. And so I would like to see him on his own while getting all this mentor advice. I think would be really great. So I am very curious for Spider-Man 3, the multiverse with our boys is what I'm going to call it. But yeah, I'm pumped. It comes out this year, and Kyle clearly didn't bring in the research.
Thought it was did not bring in the research. I thought it was a later movie.
I even said it when we went over to double check if we had all the a bunch of the big movies, because I asked if I was forgetting any. I even said it.
Completely missed that one.
Yep, like July or something of only a couple months after Black Widow. But so Kyle, what's your number 2? Because I thought that would have been your 2 or 1. So now I'm curious.
It's I'm gonna tell you now, it's not on the list at all. This is not an act. I had no idea.
Oh, we know.
Number 2 will be a Marvel movie. It's Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Kind of like what Alex said. I'm really curious to see them do something different with a different culture. I really want to see a Marvel movie that handles a character that I really have little knowledge of. I'm really curious to see how they do or how they handle the martial arts. I really hope that they do a great job with the action choreography, because I think this movie could be really cool and really fun. So yeah, I just really love the Marvel universe, and I really hope that this movie is going to be really good for this next phase, or however they're calling it now.
My number 2 is In the Heights, because every time I see that the ads or a trailer, I'm so Hamiltoned up. The whole year was pretty much Hamilton for me and my family. Yeah. And I started to listen to the soundtrack to In the Heights from when he wrote it on Broadway. And I was like, I want to experience this the first time, kind of in that theater setting. Like I didn't really do with Hamilton, but I decided to kind of stop, because I'm so floored. It looks charming. It looks incredible. I'm pumped. I'm going to guess we have the same number 1.
That's a good hunch.
What's your number 1?
It's Dune.
Same. Yes.
Yes.
Woo! You can find it at teespring.com/store/movie meals. Kyle, Dune, we're pumped. Why do you like it? Why do I like it? Great questions for another time.
Just kidding. Or we can do it now.
Video ends there, just cuts out. Tune in next week.
People are just like, what?
Kyle, why is Dune your number 1?
Truth be told, I don't have a clue what Dune is about. I know it's like a sci-fi book.
Same!
a really big, hefty book, probably like this thick, maybe even bigger. I don't know. That's all I know about it. So I'm keeping myself away from everything Dune, so that way I could be excited. And I really love Denis Villeneuve as the director. That guy is awesome. He's easily one of the best working today, and the cast looks incredible too. So that's
Staying
why
away
it's
from
one of my
everything
favorites.
Dune, you wouldn't pick up that monstrosity of a novel, no matter what context you were
You
in.
never. There's always some nerd with a book trying to make me read. Always around the corner. Not
That's not
today,
me.
nerds.
Not
No,
today,
God, no.
nerds.
No, you're
I've never read a
perfect.
book in my life. These are just decorative.
Movies are great.
Yeah. Mine is Dune, and it's really just for Denis. He has done nothing but make original or unique sci-fi movies. I mean, Sicario is not sci-fi, but it is awesome. You look at Blade Runner being a sequel where he got to kind of put his own spin on that story and what would happen later, and it just works so well. And then you look at Arrival, which to me is a 10 out of 10 perfect film. I mean, that movie is a top all-timer. It is so good, and it's unique and an
Amazing.
interesting take on time and things he does. So I just know that the books are big and they're very sci-fi, and that to me screams great. I don't want to read the book. I've always been a big believer, watch the movie before you read the book, and I'm all for that for this, because I just give me so much sci-fi. The fact that WB thinks that they really are going to make a big franchise with this is insane to me, but the cast is amazing, and I trust Denis. Denis has not made a stinker. He has made two of my all-time favorite movies and a bunch of great movies, and like one was it Sicario 2, but he didn't even make Sicario 2. Didn't he just write it?
He might have wrote it or produced it.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
he has done nothing but make incredible movies for me, so I'm all for it. But guys, what are your lists? Do you hate some of our choices? Do you not? What did you think? Please comment below. Let us know. Remember, thank you again to our patrons. Be up top. You guys are the best. Go get some of this Movie Meals
You
merch.
guys rock.
Too comfortable. All linked in the description. Remember to like, subscribe, share. As always, thanks for watching, Mom.
See you guys.
Hope 2021's better.
I really hope so.